So Gene, my grandfather, who started Clover, was, he was such a bigger than life guy, and he was so willing to gamble time and time again in business, because he'd always say back in his experiences in Normandy that he saw so many people that didn't make it, and he felt so incredibly lucky after that why not gamble? Everything else is trivial. Money's trivial. Yeah, you need it to feed yourself, but he literally had the first wave of combat engineers to clear the obstacles at Normandy. And when they put the gate down of the LTC, he recalls that not one of the guys made it to the beach, to the sand, alive. And he recalls later on that everything after that was trivial. So trivial with the exception of family. And so he was prone to gamble and never sweated the small stuff. If he failed, he'd start up again, because what's failing after what he saw in the World War. And really put his premiums on relationships and values and handshakes. And so he Yoff and I do, at least in my mind, say, hey, what's we call them pops, pop-pops. What would pops do? Well, he'd probably rather fight than not, as long as he knew he was right, and that what he stood for was right. And it was he was a good role model. And so I, growing up as a kid, he was always kind of an inspiration. Like, well, why wouldn't I want to be a part of what he did? And then seeing he and my dad's relationship together, like, wow, I'd really like this with my dad. I thought it was pretty neat. That family parties were a venue to talk about work for the two of them, and of course my mom and my grandmother would, give them hell to get back in here. What are you guys talking about? But work and family were synonymous and symbiotic, and they still are. I mean, it's, the family is in so many ways identified by the company and vice versa. And so you can't, the lines are mirrored. You can't draw a line between them, because they are one and the same, at least for me and my dad. So it's been fun. It's been really fun. Wouldn't choose any other occupation, maybe, except for, I don't know, if I was talented as an athlete, which I'm not.